Okay, hello Newcastle, and I'm with Sue Linville. And there will be no audio problems today. Matter of fact, I checked all my switches, I checked them twice, and I'm fat just like Santa Claus.
I hope so.
So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get right back to what we were doing with Meet the Candidate. Now, in this segment, okay, you will have a chance to ask a question if you have it right online. So don't be bashful. Sue Linville is candidate for the commission to study home rule. And she's going to explain what she explained the other day. She doesn't mind saying it twice.
That's
and,
right.
And this way, it'll be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Understandable.
Understandable and make a little bit of sense. So, okay, Sue, let's start right from the top.
All right. Well, I'm running for Home Rule Commission. On your ballot this fall, you're going to see basically two questions, and they're going to be on the back of the ballot. So after you vote for mayor and commissioners and everything, turn your ballot over. There are going to be two questions. One is, should Newcastle do a home rule study? This is only a study, so it's not that we're going to go into home rule, but we're going to form a commission to study home rule to see if it's an appropriate way for Newcastle to help out its economic problems. So I urge you to vote yes. And the second thing you're going to vote for is the commission is going to be composed of 7 people, and there are 11 people running for the positions. So you're going to get to vote for 7, so you can check 7 names. I'm running on a slate, which is unusual for Newcastle and probably a lot of areas. This is a group of us that got together and said, hey, if we work as a team, we can get the word out. We wanted to educate the public on what home rule was, what the study commission was going to do, so that's why I'm here today representing all 7 of us. So let me give you just a short, brief list of who's on the
That's
slate,
great.
so you know a little bit about who I'm running with. So first there's Mary Burris. She works for the county watershed. She's a landscape architect. She's been a member of all kinds of groups in the area, like Tri-County Cleanways. She was born and raised here. She moved away and came back to raise her son here, so he's also living in the area. Mike Delai, you might recognize the name. He ran for city council on the primary ballot, but he didn't make that. He's an IT guy up at the Newcastle school system. He also has his own concrete business. So he's a busy guy. Of course, there's me, Sue Linville. I've got buku degrees, PhD in biology. I'm a freelance writer. I own the Pokeberry Exchange. So I've lived in the city 12 years. I don't have any relatives here, but I've been invested in the city, literally invested in the city. Our fourth person is Paul Newmecker. This slate is nonpartisan, so it can be Democrats or Republicans when you vote. Paul is our Republican member of the team, and he's an Army veteran. Went to the Middle East, and he's got training to be a gunsmith, and he's been working to get his permissions to open his own business here in Newcastle. Eric Ritter, again, local boy from the east side. He and his family, he works at Preston Auto and the service department, and he and his family live on the east side. There's Michael Tempesta. He's been real involved in the Democratic political party. He's our go-to man. He knows everything about government, so he helps the team. And then Miranda Zeronis. She has a degree in business administration. Her husband is a military guy, but she moved back here a while back, and She's an anesthetician, if I got that right. So she's involved with beauty products, and that's what her business is based on. So that's the group, and we're running as a slate. You can vote for the 7 of us, or you can add a couple other people that are running to your selection when you're voting. So once you vote, and if we get an okay to do the home rule study, then what we're going to do is look at the structure of the government in Newcastle and say, where's the money going? Are there ways to save? Is there a way to structure the government that's maybe more representative of the people? We'll call in other people who are in cities who have home rule to see what their opinions are, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and we will draw up a new city charter. Now, it may be very similar to the government we have now, which is a strong mayor government, or it may be different. We may add members to city council, who knows? But that's what the study is about, is to see what we think is the best for Newcastle. And then in a year or so, there'll be another vote where we present the new charter to the people, they can read it, and then you'll vote, yes, we want to accept this new home rule charter, or we don't. Now, home rule gives us some advantages that we don't have now. We've been under Act 47, and I'm sure everybody's heard of that, or
Yeah.
at least, that's come up in conversation. Act 47 means is that the states come in and it's giving us economic advantages that we couldn't normally have because we are a depressed city, and they want us to be able to balance our books. When we come out of home rule in 2 years, we're going to lose an important tax that we have right now, which is an earned income tax. So the people that don't live in the city but work here are taxed their wages, and that helps keep us afloat. So
when we come out of Act 47 in 2 years.
Yes, so we're going to lose that.
Mm-hmm.
And unless we find another way to recoup that money, then we'll go in the red. And the only way to recoup that money, the state estimates that we'll have to increase property taxes 35%. And nobody wants that. I not only have a house, I have a building downtown, and I'm the last person who wants to see property taxes go up. So if there's any way we can figure out a way to get around that, I'm going to try to do that.
How many wards do we have?
I think there's 7 wards right now. I'm not real sure, that's a Michael Tempesta question. We've been talking about wards, and we know that a lot of people are disenfranchised because they feel like my ward is never represented in the government. So that's one of the questions we're going to look at is there a way to represent each ward? What if we made a new government with a representative, so a council member from each ward?
Yeah.
Then everybody would have a voice. So there are things like that we're going to be looking into.
And just a little thing with me, we have not seemed to start in one place and work in a direction. We've kind of did here,
Yes.
and it looks like nothing gets done.
Yeah, and we can't do anything about that, writing a charter, because you can't set that up. But hopefully the new people that are in new positions could do that. And if you do have a larger council with more representation, then those council members can say, hey, I'm in the 4th Ward, and we need some work here. What can you do?
Very important.
Yeah.
Now, what type of government did we have in the past?
Well, the city's had a number of types of government. So we became a city in 1869. So we've been a city for a few years. And when we first started, the city was small. We just had a mayor and 2 council members. So in 1874, we became an official 3rd-class city in Pennsylvania. That was based
what year?
In 1874. I have to write it down.
Wow.
So, yeah. So we became a 3rd-class city, and that's based on the population. So, and we're still a 3rd-class city today. And at that point, we had a mayor, and there were like 9 elected positions in the city building. So the mayor, council members, there was the fire chief was elected, and even the poor home that used to be here, the officials for that were elected. And then there were only 4 wards back in that time, and each ward had 8 individuals that were elected to positions. So as you can
Wow.
imagine, it was an enormous government, and trying to keep that all straight. Well, we weren't the only ones that had problems with that, so in 1913, we decided that the government was too big and too ponderous, we couldn't get things done because there were too many people. So we went to a commissioner type government in that case. And there were 5 members to the council. One was called the mayor, and then 4 council members, but the mayor was equal to the council, so he did not preside over the council. Yeah. So we had that kind of government until 1968, when we elected a strong mayor type of government, which is what we have now. So we've only had that since '68.
So 50 years.
Yeah, about 50 years. So we may be due for a change. Yeah, and the strong mayor, so the mayor has veto power over the city council, and he kind of runs the show more than you would with a more equal government.
Right. To override a mayor's veto.
Yeah, I think there has to probably be a majority vote.
2/3.
Yeah, so, but we've only got 5 council members.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty small
So
council.
it's 3 to 2 is 2/3.
Right, right. And if there's a member that's missing, you've only got 4 members, and you could have a tie vote, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a problem having a really small city council. So there are many types of government we can look into. There are town meeting governments that you find up in New England that where the people just come in and vote. Yeah, yeah. So they have like a meeting.
We're a
once,
little
once
big
every,
for that.
We're a little big for those kinds of. But there's the commissioner type of government, which we had, where you've got the mayors equal to the city council. You've got the strong mayor, which we've got now, and there's also a council manager government, where we have no mayor at all. We have a city council, and they hire a manager to run the city. And then if he screws up, you can
You're
fire
fired.
him. You're fired. You're fired. Yeah. So there are a lot of different governments we can look at and consider as we, go through the process. So I also want to let people know, and I don't have all the details, but this month, the Pennsylvania people on the Act 47 group, they're sending a representative here, and they're going to have educational open meetings
When is
3
this?
times. There's going to be one on the 8th. It's going to be 10 o'clock at City Hall. There's one on the 16th. It's 5 p.m. and I think I'm not sure. It said Confluence in one thing, and so I have to check on that. Then there's going to be another one on the 22nd. It's going to be 6:30 in the evening at the city.
This is all in October.
Yeah, all in October. So I think the mayor's posted on Facebook those dates. You might want to run those.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, because if people are interested in what home rule's about, the state people will be here to talk about it too. So that's kind of what's going on. I don't know if you have any more questions.
No, that got us through a real good covering of when we had that technical difficulty. And
Yes.
I told you I wanted to have Sue come in. She does a wonderful job of explaining this stuff. And anybody out there listening that might have a question, I know it was watched by a lot of people, and what they got out of it was really good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, keep your ear out. We have a Make a Difference Facebook page for our group, and we're going to have some events coming up. If you want to meet us, talk to us, we're going to try to do some door-to-door stuff too. So try to educate yourself. This is a really important election, and you need to go to the polls. Just pretend like this is a presidential election. Go to polls and vote. And we need to do this study because it's going to be a make or break time for Newcastle. And we want to keep the city here.
okay, nothing in closing yet.
Well, I think I've said enough.
I think great job. I'm happy that we got to really cover it. if you have any questions, feel free to send them in,
Yeah.
and we'll get Sue Linville to answer them. I'm glad we
Yeah, we can do
had this
an answer thing. Yeah.
chance to talk about it, and we're going to put it out there to all the people that were looking, listening, watching. And this was a Meet the Candidate. This is a public affairs presentation. We did it on the morning show, and just was the place to do it.
Yeah. Well, plus I got to get to work.
So, hey, thanks for watching. NCTV45, we're available anytime on your time. I appreciate it. Any questions, make sure you send them in. We'll be happy to answer them. Have a great day, everybody.
I'll leave you with a couple of these.